It's 8 o'clock. Here are our top stories. A Denver couple's date night turns violent.
We tried to defend ourselves, but when it was 5 or 6 against 2.
Attacked and mugged on the street. And tonight they're hoping to prevent others from going through what they did.
Be very aware of your surroundings.
Empire residents dealing with unreliable water services. Tonight, the town's mayor sits down with Denver 7 with an update on repairs.
I feel that we have done everything humanly possible and are going to continue to do so.
Delco School Board moving forward with their new superintendent, while one director plays hooky.
A lot of discussions that have happened outside of the public eye, which to me is unacceptable for how we should be performing as a board.
And the FDA signs off on a second round of booster shots.
A lot of people are kind of like, well, do I really have to get another shot? For some groups, I think the answer is yes.
Who's being advised to boost up as fears grow over another COVID surge?
Well, a fun night downtown took a terrifying turn for a Denver couple.
Yeah, we're going to start with weather today, everybody. We're in for a colder night across the metro and a winter weather advisory for the mountains.
All right, good evening. Glad you're with us on Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're here tonight.
Yeah, I'm Danny New. The rain and cold have settled in and apparently might switch to snow overnight.
Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson tracking the conditions. And Mike, we could hear some thunder as well.
We might get a rumble of thunder. I think we'll more likely get some flakes of snow by about midnight. It is a wet night along the Front Range. This time lapse out at City Park, you can really see as darkness settles in, it is just a cold evening. 33 right now in Denver. It's still 41 up at Fort Collins, but those temperatures teasing freezing, and that means we'll see some snow later on tonight. 31 degrees colder right now than it was this time yesterday, and we do have a variety of weather advisories that are in effect up into the mountains. Winter weather advisories, most of the mountain areas until noon tomorrow, and you can see the rain and the snow along the Front Range. The areas in blue starting to change over now to snow. More rain up to the north at lower elevations. That snow dropping to about 6,500 feet now, and it'll drop down to about 5,500 feet in elevation by morning. For right now, it's rain below 7,000 feet, but it will change to snow by morning. Minor accumulations on grassy areas, but we'll be back in the 60s before you know it. I'll have the full details in the 7 day.
A little bit. Thank you, Mike. A couple say they were just trying to get home. Instead, left bruised and battered.
Yeah, Denver police say that they're now investigating the incident. Meanwhile, the couple shared their story and a warning with our own CB Cotton.
In downtown Denver, everyone is trying to get somewhere. An early Sunday morning, this couple,
I think our big focus just being awareness,
just wanted to get home.
We had ran into one of my friends and just got drinks with her at a bar, and we were about to leave, waiting for an Uber.
But the couple says their wait was interrupted by an assault.
I've got a pretty big bruise on my back.
The boyfriend and girlfriend have asked us not to share their name or show their face because they're scared. They say someone on a scooter nearly collided with them, then called at least 6 people over.
he slammed his scooter down and started to be confrontational right away and got in my face.
A few of the female attackers came and started hitting me and punching me and pushed both of us to the ground. He got a bloody nose, I got a black eye.
They were badly bruised and their belongings were taken.
My grandpa just passed away not even 2 weeks ago, and he did handcrafted pens, and one of those was in my purse and they took that too.
Denver police tell us they're investigating the incident but couldn't say much more. Meanwhile, the couple says they're speaking out, hoping to warn others.
And it just goes to show, like, it can happen to anybody's son or daughter.
In Denver, I'm CB Cotton, Denver 7.
Denver Police Department says it's investigating a 17-year-old girl's death now as a murder. Her body was found in an alley. The body of Jasmine Rivas Hernandez was found near Quebec and Colfax Saturday afternoon. No other details released about the cause of death. And family members say they are heartbroken and have so many questions.
I want this person who did this to pay for this. Like, I want them to pay for the rest of their life for, what they did. Like I said, she didn't deserve this. And who knows, they did this already once. Who knows if they could do it again and hurt somebody else.
DPD says this is the 3rd murder of a juvenile so far this year. And if you have any information about Jasmine's death, please call Denver Police or Metro Crime Stoppers.
New at 8, Douglas County School Board has voted to approve new Superintendent Erin Kane's contract. The 4-2 vote gives her a 3-year contract with the district. Last week, Kane was chosen by the Conservative Majority Board to replace Corey Wise. However, because of that process to oust Wise, School Board Director David Ray said that he would not attend tonight's meeting.
For me, after reflecting on the past few weeks of a lot of events that I just felt like were unacceptable as well as unethical, I just felt like that it would be best for me not to participate. Obviously, the contract's going to go through regardless of whether I'm there or not.
Kane previously was the director of American Academy Charter School in Dougco.
A Boulder County judge has dismissed a lawsuit regarding the Marshall Fire debris removal program. The Diggs lawsuit was headed by former FEMA Administrator Michael Brown, who claimed the county violated open meetings laws when selecting a contractor. The judge ruled, though, the lawsuit has no standing, since the group and its members are in no way affiliated with Boulder County.
Now, despite my mild groans about the weather, there is a big perk to the cooler temperatures and rain we've gotten today. Firefighters are getting better control over those 2 wildfires currently burning north of Denver. The NCAR fire is now near 80% containment, and crews were also able to hold that fire to the 190 acres we reported last night, despite worries about the wind. And then fire officials have lifted the voluntary evacuation near the Soulshine fire in Estes Park off Highway 34. Crews are working to fully contain that fire, which is now 13 acres and 75% contained.
The town of Empire has been without reliable water under a boil order now for 9 days.
City officials are blaming a leak in the city's pipes, and high levels of iron and manganese in the city's well are making it unsafe to drink.
Denver 7's Rob Harris talked to Empire's mayor, also Rob, to residents. So any updates on when they might have water again?
Okay, so officials aren't able to make any promises yet, but I did get some important updates from the mayor of Empire today. The city does now have the replacement filter for the well it's been waiting for, and the mayor says she's hopeful it can be installed and working within the next few days, so that's good. The filter would help with the high levels of iron and manganese in the city's well, which would ease the water shortage on that front. Now, as for the leak or leaks, investigators have been trying to find the source of it for days without any success. But Mayor Wendy Cook says they've been able to narrow it down to just a few possible spots, and she's expecting an update from investigators tomorrow. The people of Empire, though, have been waiting on this, and several businesses have had to close without water.
This is a town of a little over 300 people. We don't have endless pockets, bottomless pockets. I feel that we have done everything humanly possible and are going to continue to do so. And hopefully by Friday we will have running water.
So Cook has signed a mayoral proclamation of emergency over this water situation, and it's set to be voted on by the city's Board of Trustees and Planning tonight. Now, Cook says that will enable them to ask for more help from the state and the federal government as they sift through all this. So tonight at 10 o'clock on Denver 7, we got more of my sit down with Empire's mayor, plus my conversation with a homeowner who can't bring his newborn baby home because they don't have water. Danny?
Thank you, Rob. And nearly 5 hours of peace talks between Ukraine and Russia have wrapped for the day, and officials suggest progress is being made. Russia says it will limit military activity near Kyiv and Chernihiv to increase trust between both sides. The Biden administration says they see evidence Russian troops are leaving Kyiv, but believe it's more likely a redeployment of their forces than an actual withdrawal. The next round of peace talks between Russia and Ukraine is scheduled to happen in 2 weeks.
A bill to force insurance companies to cover infertility treatment is now on the governor's desk. It comes after Denver 7 Investigates exposed just how costly infertility treatments were, forcing families onto the black market to buy the needed drugs. A new law was supposed to take effect this year that would have mandated insurance coverage for in vitro fertilization, IVF, but that law hit a snag, meaning no one had coverage. This new bill, passed today, fixes those issues. This only applies to large companies, though, with more than 100 employees who have insurance plans regulated by the state.
Today, the CDC and FDA authorized a second COVID-19 booster shot for people ages 50 and older. This applies to both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, but the authorizations are a little different for people with compromised immune systems. For them, a second Pfizer booster shot is authorized for people ages 12 and older. And then for Moderna, it applies to adults ages 18 and older. And for any of them, the second booster can be given 4 months after the first one. And if you're in that older than 50 crowd or your immune system is compromised, you might be asking yourself, Okay, do I really need another booster though? Well, here's what Dr. Michelle Barron from UC Health told our Ann Trujillo.
The answer is yes. We're not done. We may be at lower levels. If you can think back over the last 2 years, we have had these ups and downs. And I think we get very reassured when rates go down, and then we get very panicked when rates tease up again. And so by having your shot now, you're sort of ensuring that level of protection. And certainly we know that with Omicron and the subvariants, that having that booster really impacted how sick you got.
Dr. Michelle Barron says this booster is especially important for people who work in businesses where they interact with a lot of customers or with children.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8, Xcel Energy's rate hikes are leaving some customers feeling priced out.
It's going to cost me 3 times as much to cook a pizza at 5:30 as it does at 7:01.
With bills stacking up, they reached out to Contact Denver 7 for help.
I haven't been able to get an answer. That's why I contacted you guys.
Just how much rain and snow to expect overnight and when temperatures return to the 60s.
A group of local seniors quilting for a cause.
They're all, yes, I want to do something for Ukraine.
Meet the gals stitching together and finding solidarity in sewing.
This is a dream come true. This is the quilter's dream.